And what's up, everybody? I'm playing 2-5 here at the Lodge for the first time ever, and one of the first hands of the night, I get dealt pocket nines and cutoff. We have a lot of limpers from under the gun +1. Cutoff does bump it up to $20, and I decide to 3-bet to $65. It does fold around back to all the limpers, and literally everybody, including cutoff, puts in the call. So we're going to go 5 ways to a flop of 10, 7, 8, 2 spades. And everybody puts in the check to me, and I really don't like my decision here. I end up putting out a bet of $105. You just never really want to be betting when you really don't have a strong hand. Like, yeah, I'm open-ended to the straight, but it's just, I could be just already losing to a 10 here. Not recommended into 5 players. Like I said, I do put out the bet of $105. Everybody does fold, and unfortunately, cutoff comes in and they bump it up with the raise to $345, and this is exactly what I was worried about. And of course, at this point, I can't really go anywhere, so I do put in the call. Turn comes in the 2 of spades, which is very nice. I do have the 9 of spades in my hand, so drawing pretty well here. Cutoff does check, and I think for a little bit, but I decide to check back as well, just trying to get to the river here. And we do see the river. It comes the 2 of clubs. Cutoff actually checks, and I decide to just check back as well, and they end up showing a 10, a really not even a strong 10. And yeah, they end up taking the pot down, ladies and gentlemen. So we lose our first spot here. And literally the next hand I do rebuy, and I get dealt ace king offsuit and cutoff. The straddle is on for $10, and I have 3 limpers ahead of me. I decide to bump it up to $65. Under the gun calls my $65 raise, and then the person next to them actually bumps it up all the way to $210. Goes back around to me, and they are playing roughly $620 effective. And you know what we got to do? We have an Aunt Jemima moment. I am all in. Might as well. The person at cold call isn't going to have like aces or kings here. I'm not really worried about them. They are roughly as deep as me with $1,000, but I don't really care. They're not going to call. And I see immediately that they fold. And then the person who made it 210 does put in a call. So we're going to be heads up, and we have the run out. I like flipping. Oh, the ladies. I got to beat the ladies. That's my favorite hand. I never lose to them. Yeah, just like yesterday. There we go. Can't lose to the ladies. Next hand, I get dealt ace queen offsuit on the button, and the $10 straddle is on. By under the gun, low jack makes it $35. Hijack puts in the cold call. It folds around to me, and I decide to bump it up. I make it $155 to go with the 3-bet squeeze. Low jack puts in the call, and hijack actually folds. So we're gonna go heads up to a flop of jack 8-10 rainbow. So I am double gutted here, looking pretty nice. They check. I decide to check back to see if I can, hit my straight. Turn brings in the queen of spades. So I do now have top pair, top kicker, but obviously I'm losing to any 9 in the deck. Don't see my opponent having ace king much. They check again, and I decide to check again. And then we go to the river, which brings the king of diamonds. That means we have the nut straight with the ace here, ladies and gentlemen. They check, and I decide to actually put out the overbet here to $455. My opponent thinks for a little bit, and they do let it go, but hey, we do take it down. And I get dealt pocket aces, the Rockets, in hijack with the under the gun straddle of $10 on. And under the gun +1 does bump it up to $35. Does folds around to me and cut off, and I decide to 3-bet to $110. Under the gun +1 puts in the call, so we're going to go heads up to a flop of jack 8 deuce all diamonds. Fortunately, I do not have a diamond in my hand. We do just have black aces. They check. And I decide to still c-bet here. I do make it $65 to go. They put in a call. So we go to the turn, and it comes the 10 of hearts. They check. And I decide to pot control this time instead of double barreling. So I decide to put in the check back here. We go to the river, and it comes a relative blank, the 4 of spades. I mean, that's as blank of a card as I'm ever going to see. pure brick city here on the river. And my opponent thinks for a little bit, and they do put out a bet of $200. And yeah, I just pretty much snap call. I have aces. And unfortunately, they turn over 10-8 suited. So yeah, they hit their 2-pair on the turn. Their 2-pair on the turn. So yeah, I lay it down. Nothing I can do here. And we're going to lose a pot with aces. And next hand, I get dealt ace-king offsuit in small blind. Once again, the under the gun straddle is on. Gotta love these people in Texas. They are always putting this $10 straddle on for the most part. Under the gun +1 does make it $30 to go. Cut off 3 bets to $110. And it comes around to me, and I decide to bump it up to $270 with the nice code 4 bet. Under the gun +1 folds, and cutoff decides to put in the call though. And keep in mind here, we're roughly $1,000 to $1,500 effective. And when it goes to a flop of 6, 5, deuce, 2 diamonds. I do not have a diamond in my hand, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm not slowing down in this code 4 bet pot. I decide to put out a bet of $280, roughly 50% of the pot. Cut off thinks for a bit, but yeah, guess they just don't have anything. They fold, and I take down a massive, massive pot here with the code 4 bet with ace king. And here we get dealt pocket tens under the gun. Straddle is on again, so I decide to make it $30 to go. Goes all the way around the small blind, and they put in the call. But big blind has other plans with this hand and decides to 3-bet squeeze to $150. And we are, once again, roughly $1,000 or so deep. So, yep, I do put in the call. And small blind actually does fold, so we're actually going to go heads up to a flop of ace, 2, 8, all spades. I do have the 10 of spades in my hand, ladies and gentlemen. Do have black 10s. They put out a continuation bet for $100, and I do put in a call. Turn comes the ace of hearts, which is a pretty nice turn. That means they should have less aces in the hand with the board appearing like this, so looking pretty good here. They check, and I decide to just, I'm just trying to get to the river, so I decide to check back. The river comes the 4 of clubs, a relative blank. They think for a little bit, and then they announce they're all in for $1,000. I'm like, what is going on? There's like pretty much roughly a 2x pot bet. Definitely just can't call here with pocket tens. Easiest decision of my life. I lay it down and lose the pot. And for this hand, I get dealt king, queen suited in middle position. Under the gun straddle is on again for $10. Person to their immediate left makes it $50 to go. And somebody in middle position as well does put in the code call with $50. I decide I have other plans here, and I'm going to 3-bet squeeze to $175. And to my left, button actually comes along with the cold call to my 3-bet squeeze here. And it falls back around to the players who both put in $50, and they put in the calls as well, which this is insane, ladies and gentlemen. So insane. We're actually going to go 4 ways, and this pot is already touching $700 or so. 4 ways to a flop of king, 7, 3 rainbow. Relative safe flop for me. I'm only worried about sets at this point. Don't see much players having 2-pair here. And I do block some 2-pair combos having the king of spades in my hand. So very hard for my opponent to have king 7 suited. There's only 1 combo left, which is king 7 of clubs. So only losing to 1 combo here. I don't see somebody having king 3, of course. And they both check ahead of me, and I decide to put out a bet of $250. Person to my left, which they have been playing pretty crazy tonight. Do have a couple of drinks in them. They do put in the call, and both players to my right do fold. So we're actually going to go heads up to return, and it comes the 5 of spades, relative brick. I am slightly worried about 6-4 suited. Like I said, the person to my left has been drinking a little bit, but I mean, like, are they really going to have 6-4 suited, under the gun straddle, 250 bets, and then I 3-bet squeeze very big, and then they're just going to have 6-4 suited? Come on now. So at this point, I announce we're going to have an Andre Mammer moment. I am all in for roughly $900, and they just snap call, and I was not happy about the snap call. I was hoping that they have King Jack suited. I asked if they wanted to run it twice. You can't do this in Texas. They said, yeah, it's up to you. And then, but they just flip over pocket sevens. And I just cry because I'm like, damn, okay, I'm drawing dead. Doesn't even matter about running it twice. They just have pocket sevens. So yeah, they just get lucky, call my bet, and just flop it. And literally I lose literally $1,500 right here in this pot in a 2-5 game, which is very insane. But yeah, you play very deep here in Texas. Buying for this game goes up to 2,000. And we have the last hand of the night here, ladies and gentlemen. I get dealt ace-5 offsuit with the $40 straddle in play. I'm actually the $20 straddle. It actually folds all the way around to us. And basically we have kind of like a small blind versus big blind game here. So I decided to open it up to $110. And the $40 straddle does put in the call. And we go to a flop of Queen, Queen, 8, Rainbow. Ladies on board. Don't have a lady this time, though, unfortunately. I decided to put out a bet of 125 on the flop before all the money. It's a lot of money in there with my bet and the straddles, all the dead money, yeah. So I do make it 125. Versus to my left, who just stacked me with the set of sevens a couple of hands ago. They do put in the call. Turn brings in the 5 of diamonds, so very nice. At least I have a pair here, looking pretty good. I decided to slow down, see if my opponent's going to do anything, so I decided to check. They actually check back. River comes the unfortunate 8 of spades. Really rough river here. Now I do lose 2 and 8, and my 5 no longer plays. I just have ace high, and just thinking here, and I'm like, you know, this opponent has been drinking a bit. Maybe they'll find a bluff or something like that. Hopefully they just don't have an 8. That's what I'm kind of worried about. I do check. And then my opponent announces they're going to be betting $500. Pretty massive bet here. I mean, literally, it's literally a buy-in here. And so I go into the tank for a little bit. Once my opponent bet $500, I was pretty like 90-something% sure I was going to call here. Pretty good call here with ace high. They can have a lot of hands such as 10-9, Jack 10. You know, all of these hands pretty much brick. Backdoor diamonds bricked. I don't have a diamond on my hand. So I beat a lot of their bluffs. Like a lot of their bluffs, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't think they have a queen. If they had a queen, they probably would have stabbed on turn with the backdoor diamonds coming in, right? So yeah, I feel pretty good here. So yeah, I do decide to flick in the call, and my opponent turns over king high. So pretty good spot for me. I scoop an extra $500 on the river. So they did stack me with pocket sevens, but at least I get some money back here with my nice, beautiful ace high call. And we have the results here for this 2-5 game in Texas. I end up losing $2,465, my biggest loss ever at a 2-5 game. And that was a big loss, but if you like big winning sessions where I played Doug Pope in a 25-50 game at the Lodge, make sure you check out this video right here.